Hi guys, I'm David. So today we're going to be heading back to the cranberry bog where I got that banded sunfish while I was microfishing. So the part that I want to fish today in that cranberry bog is one of the outlet stations. There are two of them. One of them had been damaged at some point from erosion and had collapsed. But with that, there's a deep ditch right there, and it's also covered. It has a mat of cranberries, which is about a foot thick on top. And I believe the overall depth is probably like 3-4 feet, and a foot of that is cranberries. So I'm planning on using a micro fishing setup again, or an ultralight setup. I have this Fluger President rod. It's a 4.5 foot, pretty simple. It's a 2-piece, and then a Fluger President reel loaded with 2-pound mono. So because I have to punch through a foot of cranberries, I'm trying to figure out a setup where I can less likely get caught up on the drop. So what I came up with was to use this tungsten drop shot weight. It's 1/4 ounce. Pretty simple. Usually you pinch onto the line. I don't know if you can see that, the eyelet well on this. I'm not going to do that with 2-pound test line. It'll definitely break with 1 or 2 changes in position on the line, or it might even snap the first time. It's like this 2-pound test is like thread. Then let's see, go 8 inches above that. Did a little tiny dropper loop. Put a little tiny bead on there. That's like a 3mm bead, if that. And then I have a size 10 Gamakatsu octopus hook on there. I ran out of the 14s, so that's what we're going to do today. As far as hook size, I did order a bunch of size 24 and 26s. They should be coming in today, but not early enough where I can use them. So this right here is the normal drop shot weight. That's what the eyelet usually looks like. I didn't like the way that would work on the 2-pound test, so I just widened this out a little bit so it's not going to damage the integrity of the line. So that's what we're going to go with on the baited hook. And then as far as fishing the canal, the shallower part, the part that's like maybe a foot at the most, I'm going to be doing one of these crappie lures. Sounds weird to say, but that's what we're going to use. Either that or one of these little trout magnets on a little tiny jig head, and just sort of jig it along the edges of the bank over there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes and see how this rig setup works. I'm going to be using just little tiny chunks of night crawlers that I just dug up in the front yard. So alrighty guys, let's see how it goes. Alright guys, so we got the tiny piece of worm on a size 10 hook, and I tried the 1/4 inch tungsten drop shot sinker, but it isn't working, so that's where we're fishing right now. Straight cranberry. I did end up getting through with 1.5 ounces before I just switched it up. So now we're waiting to see if anything's down there. Oh, there's a bite, there's a bite, there's a bite. Oh, I got a bite, I got a bite, I got a bite. Oh, watch out, Thomas. Something just definitely did that. Alright, so you have a bunch of frogs over here. Look what they're doing. Bow chicka wow wow. Bow chicka wow wow. Alright, we'll leave them alone. But all this movement out here is frogs. There's a happy couple. Alrighty guys, so the other couple spots didn't work. We tried microfishing under the cranberries, tried a couple little streams that came off the cranberry bogs themselves. So we actually just found this pump house right here, and we're fishing this, and I see some bluegills or something popping on the top, so let's see what it is. Got him. What's that? What do we got over here? Little tiny bluegill. See if there are any bigger ones in here. Ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh, look at this one, Thomas. Holy moly.
I saw one that size over here too.
Nice bluegill. That's pretty big. Yep, new spot. I mean, I still guess this is still a cranberry bog. I guess it's all the same water, just outside the on the opposite side of Pump House. That's a big one. See, another bluegill. Just using a little trout magnet on here. That is it. Bluegill saves the day. Oh, here he comes. Something's coming. Something's coming. Bluegill. They're over here, Thomas. You want to bring the bait over? They're like right in front of you. Ooh, that's a big one. What is that? What is that, Thomas?
Is that a bass?
Oh, it's a perch. Look at that. Nice big chunky perch. It's a good spot. They're over here.
Good thing we listened to that guy.
Oh, there's a bite. What is that?
Perch.
Boink. Ugh. These are actually really, they look good. All the fish look nice and healthy. Fish on.
Fish on.
Fish on. Ooh, crappie. Crappie. Crappie.
Keep it.
Oop, keeping it.
Are we going to eat it?
Yeah, we can eat this one. It's fine. Look at this, guys.
Yeah.
Nice little crappie. Pretty good day out here. We tried several spots on this cranberry bog. Didn't work out too well. Used tiny bits of worm, fished in the bog itself where I know the banded sunfish are. Got one little tiny nibble, but that was it. And then we ended up exploring all the drainage ditches that go outside the cranberry bog itself. So we ended up at this pump station right here. So bog's over here is quite flooded. It just rained this morning. So yep, drains out right over here, right over in this area. And we found piles of sunfish. And they're all good size too for the most part. And then we got a crappie, really nice yellow perch. And we've seen some stuff jumping in the center of the pond, which I think are probably more sunfish and maybe some bass or something. So Thomas caught a bunch of fish, still catching them right now in the worms. I just used the trout magnet, and the little jig seemed to survive pretty well until the last minute when I cast it into a tree. But yeah, trout magnets are cheap, and they come in a giant box. It's like 100 pieces or something like that. So just use it with this Berkeley Lightning. I think it's like a 6 foot. Just using a little tiny 1000 series real 4-pound test, and it casted just fine. So alrighty guys, I hope you guys like this video. I know it wasn't anything extravagant, but I'm just still have this scratch I want to itch of just going to cranberry bogs and seeing what's in there, because you really never know. I mean, just look at the environment around here. I mean, you got literal swamp, then you have cranberry bog, which is usually taken care of for the most part, but it flooded. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. You really never know. So all right guys, thank you. Alrighty guys, so we were just heading back to the car, and there's this enormous snapping turtle. Oh, come on man, don't fish for him. Yeah, he's a big man. He's at least 80 pounds. He's big. I don't know if you can see him or not.